So why didn't any flat Earth astronomers predict this eclipse? On Sunday, the 21st of June, there was an annular solar eclipse in Asia. And this is commonly called the Ring of Fire. And the reason is that the moon is at its farthest distance in its orbit. So of course its angular size is smaller and it isn't large enough to completely cover the sun. And of course, on the globe model, this is very accurately predicted. This is from timeanddate.com. So this shows you the path of the solar eclipse, and it also shows how much of the eclipse you will see from your location. Now I live in Bangkok, so this was the eclipse at its maximum. This was at 2:49 in the afternoon. Now I tried to take a video and all I had was a piece of welder's glass that wasn't even big enough to completely cover the lens of my P900. So I had it taped on and as you can see, it didn't really turn out that well. Now fortunately there were some large clouds in the sky and I must have waited at least 20 minutes until one finally drifted close enough that I was able to get this short video clip. Now, the explanation for eclipses on the globe model is really quite simple. First of all, we have the ecliptic, and that would be the observed path of the sun across the sky from the surface of the Earth. And then we have the moon's orbit, which is at about a 5-degree offset from the ecliptic. So of course the moon is going to cross the ecliptic twice during its orbit, and we have the ascending node and we have the descending node. Now in astrology, these are called the north node and the south node. And you might recognize these names from Hindu astrology, Rahu and Ketu. Now there are 2 eclipse seasons during the year that are favorable for eclipses, and of course this is when the lunar nodes are in alignment with the sun. Now if there is a new moon, there's a good chance of having a solar eclipse. And if there is a full moon, then we have a good chance of having a lunar eclipse. Now this eclipse season was a little special because not only did we have the annular solar eclipse on June 21st, but there was also a penumbral lunar eclipse on the 5th or 6th of June, depending on your location. And there's also going to be another penumbral lunar eclipse on the 4th or 5th of July, again depending on your location. So we actually had 3 eclipses during this eclipse season, and of course this is not that common. The next time it's going to happen will be in 2029. So what exactly is a penumbral eclipse? So this is your typical diagram showing the sun, the earth, and of course the umbra is 100% shadow because the sun is entirely blocked by the earth. And then in the penumbra, it's only a partial shadow because the earth is only partially blocking the sun. Bobby Shafto has a recent video with a great demonstration of how this works, and I'll leave a link in my video if you haven't seen this. But anyways, this is done outdoors, and what he did is he drew a circle on the ground that has the same diameter as this ball. So next he raised the ball, and on the left here you can see that the shadow not only fills that circle, but the edge of the shadow is pretty well defined. And on the right, he has the ball raised quite a bit higher. And now you can see that not only is it much smaller than the circle, but the edge is quite a bit more blurry. And of course, this area out here would be the penumbra. So this is a representation of the Earth's shadow with the umbra and the penumbra, and we can have 3 types of eclipses: a total, a partial, and a penumbral. And of course, the total eclipse is when the moon's orbit takes it right through the umbra. A partial eclipse is when it's only partially in the umbra. And of course, a penumbral eclipse is when it passes through the penumbra. So again, on the globe model, not only do we have a very good understanding of how eclipses work, astronomers are able to make very accurate predictions of when these will occur and where you will be able to see these phenomena. But what about the flat Earth? Exactly how do eclipses work on a flat Earth? Well, I really doubt if you're going to get that explanation, except for some harebrained excuses as to why they don't think it works on a globe. And of course, this is pretty ironic because, again, did any flat earther predict any of these eclipses?